Hi, everyone, and welcome to a webinar on powering cybersecurity with GenAI and intelligence agents. I'm really excited to join with Harsh Sharma, Principal Software Engineer at Palo Alto Networks. Harsh works on an intersection of GenAI technologies and cutting-edge cybersecurity products. Harsh, would love to have an introduction.
Yeah, thank you, Nikhil, for inviting me. And yeah, happy to be here. Currently, as you have already mentioned, I work at the intersection of AI, data science, data engineering side, and it's been like past 10 years working on software domain and leveraging all those to build the scalable products. Uh, I currently work as a principal software engineer at in the intersection of AI and building driving the AI initiatives in the product lines, and kind of I can say building AI to fight AI in the modern days. Yeah, so happy to be here and share all of the knowledge and experience.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Harsh, for having, and taking the time out and doing this. I think before we start the serious stuff, so like just quick question to the audience. They can basically type in Q&A section or just, do emojis. Do you think like AI security analyst or officer will be very legit job by end of this year? And Harsh, I would love to know your thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that the how the ecosystem is evolving, and day by day, there's a dearth of like lot of data is increasing day by day. It's like
Yeah,
earlier it's some petabyte, now it's like more on those things. So the amount of data increasing all this network and everything. There's a risk also which is associated with that. So
yeah.
both supply it's a like I would say it's a cat and rat race, and you need both. You need, if the data is increasing and the processing is increasing, you also need to safeguard those to help mitigate those bad elements from the network. So both jobs are very demanding.
Yeah, very interesting. Cybersecurity is evolving really fast. So we are like basically taking from reactive monitoring to intelligent defense systems and understanding and implementing AI agents to determine whether you're actually leading or lagging in digital protection. In today's webinar, basically, I think Harsh will be leading that. Today we're talking about how autonomous AI systems are transforming cyber defense and current landscape of threats and maybe for future potential of these technologies. So yeah, Harsh, over to you. Uh, let's deep dive into it.
All right, so today we'll be covering more or how basically the AI agents and Gen AI is empowering the cybersecurity. So yeah, I mean, it's a as we see there's a lot of data flowing in right now, a lot of transaction and all. We need a system also which are intelligent enough to detect those, analyze your network, and give you the intuitive alerts at the right time. And how from traditional is changing is, instead of just giving the alert and asking somebody else to take the action, it's now finding its own path, making sure that okay, this is where I can go to fix those issues, go on their own, make those changes and apply and check and see like how the if the issues has gone or not. So this is how it's the transition has been changing. And let's go. So for the today's agenda, we would be covering like some of the introduction on those things, along with the like how the agents in cybersecurity is going on. What is the difference between just rule based systems and the agentic systems that are coming on, how they intersect with AI, with Gen AI and cybersecurity domain. Like what kind of agentic AI, different type of techniques and tool you can use. Some of the case studies and challenges, ethical issues that we are getting, some future scope. Also, what will the change in the skill set that people will be needing, like for the future? Like we know that okay, 5 years down the line, data engineering and everything, blockchain was super hype, and now it's all transition to AI. And also how those rules and are changing so that the future generation can also prepare themselves for the upcoming trends. And followed by one of the interesting demo that I have prepared. So is where we are using AI agent to build a network administrator agent, and which can help you give you configure the rules for you in a better way and give you the results. So stay tuned and let's get started. All right. So as we know, like the cyber threats has also, as the security is increasing, the threat has also evolved. Earlier, it used to be just rule based systems where we have certain rules defined, and as the networks traffic flowing in, there are some issues we used to detect. We used to send those alerts to another team. They used to take some action. So it was a long cycle. So this is how the traditional security used to work. In terms of we have also seen if there is a hardware and those things, it uses the local systems, it run all the processing, and then it gives you the at the end the like a antivirus or virus kind of a report that okay, these are the issues. Then you take some actions, you decide whether which calls are important or not. Now then we move to AI enhanced security, which is like machine learning models or uh, time series kind of models, detecting that, looking at your past data and telling you whether it's a memory issue or it could be a threat issue, or some anomalies are detected based on the machine learning algorithms that we build. Now it's the era of agentic AI security, which we say that AI can leverage and build their own path. When I say own path, means they can generate their own plan of whether they want to just log or trace back some of the information, or they also want to perform some actions on top of it, interact with multiple other agents to get all the relevant information, apply those information in a real time environment or a simulated environment, see if those has mitigated the issue, and then reply back to the user that okay, I have not just not detected the issue, but also I have mitigated it, and now your system is free of those kind of. To this, there's also opportunity of future kind of unforeseen data issues or unforeseen threat and malware issues which are not detected. AI gives you more enhanced capability for those to detect those also early, because it's quite evolving. It has their own path, own data, and it has leverage of all those tools and techniques which it can use to detect the future issues also. So that's where agentic AI security helps. Now, coming to some of the where we are right now, some of the numbers. So as we know, in the modern landscape, we have like every 39 seconds we have a attack frequency where the in the whole network and world, the attacks is happening worldwide. And this is like, the dwell time average, attackers remain undetected in the network. Average cost of each data bridge is like 4.35 million. And this has been like from last past 6 years, like around 39,000, like 1,900% increase in the ransomware increase, because obviously the computer is increasing and everything is increasing. Cost is not just going there, but in ransomware also people are demanding more and more because they know that how critical the data has become for the company, right? And this is some of the other numbers, like in 2013 alone there was like 5.4 billion malware attacks that happened, and average cost was around like 4.45 million. There's For the upcoming one, there's a critical shortage of around like 1.4 3.4 million security professionals in the in the going landscape of next 5 years. And now the attacks are more sophisticated, complex than it used to be earlier. It's because it's the AI that is doing the attack. What used to happen past 3 days, what a hacker used to do, now AI is able to capable of doing it in just 1 hour, or maybe like in 3 hours, alongside the risk of quantum computing being coming, which is giving the leverage of all these and kind of disrupt the whole the market itself and the security base. So Gen AI offers those detections in the monitoring, detection, and response alerts. So that's where the opportunity and the system lies. Where we are, if you look at the left chart, where we are in terms of it's kind of a, have you read Maslow law of hierarchy, where it says first you need food, then you need clothes, then you think about other basic needs in life. So that's where the AI agents hierarchy of needs is also there. So first we needed was more heavy compute and GPU and CPU, and we have the base structure, how to deploy it, Kubernetes. We got the foundation model. This is how we are coming along, where we got the foundation model from different OpenAI, Gemini, and all those. And we have the data storage, we have orchestration to deploy those, model routing, LM, how if we are using LM, how we can observe those, evaluate those, LM security cam, and again the memory to trace back and follow back from the user that okay, this is something that you asked last time, and now how I can leverage those in the contextual memory and reply back in a system. Agent system is on in the top of the pyramid, and it is using all these infrastructure of for the foundation has been done over the past 10 years, and so in the ecosystem to give you more you to process more all of those, leverage those, and give you more intuitive way of reasoning, plan of action, and also to mitigate any if any issues are coming. Yeah. So moving to next.
I think like just want to ask. So with with agentic AI, obviously we have seen the security is becoming more autonomous and everything. Has the volume of attacks also increased, and how that landscape has also changed? You with basically how attackers also using generative AI and these models and specifically trained models to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a there's a huge risk there because the foundation models that are trained on the open source data, and they also have some data of, people can go reverse engineering those models, understand like, okay, uh, like one of the example I will give is like if you go to the earlier foundation model and you ask a question, okay, which website I should be looking forward to know about some specific details about some less bad behavior or something. So it doesn't use to give those and block those, but if you ask a question in a different way, like which website I should not be looking right now in my organization, and it
Yeah.
will give you a list of those. So the user can reverse engineer in the prompt way, or get to do all these prompt injections and all to get all this information to the model. So that there is also one issue. And as the models are giving, getting advanced and all, so there's a compute is also there. They can also write their own program which can brute force attack the in the various layers of the system, whether
Yeah.
it's at the network layer, whether it's a data layer, and breach those securities. So what used to happen by removing somebody in a phishing way or other way, AI is kind of doing in a very uh, personalized social engineering way. And which is because as we generate LLM to use content, we can use LLM to generate some personalized message also, because they know your in person persona and everything. They will generate very impersonate message to you. And then when so the attack of social engineering, social phishing has also gone a lot up. Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, let's move to the next one, which is like, basically where we are right now and how it is intelligent agents are going from the traditional. So as we know, in the traditional automation, we what we used to do is we used to have some fixed predefined roles and workflows, so-called playbooks, which used to run and gives you the analysis report. Then somebody else used to go read those reports and say, okay, if there's an alert in the system or antivirus runs, it gives you report, ask you to buy something, some things that they are pre-known in their ecosystem. They used to analyze those and make some operations, but it was very limited to the threats that they have. And every time, you used to update the antivirus and those things, manual consent and
Yeah.
all to whether I should be upgrading this. What happens if I upgrade and it doesn't work, or some new threat come? There's always a fear when I used to work earlier, like if I upgrade my antivirus, what happen, like if something gets deleted, right? Or if my important file which I'm using, it detects that also as a threat, and that gets automatically deleted, right? So these kind of issues were there. Now it's quite more of the agentic AI, where when you ask something to AI, when you give a action, it's like a giving the responsibility to the AI, that now you know my system, you take care of all the ecosystem, you take care of understanding the logs, network, whatever is flowing in the ecosystem. Learn itself, detect based on the knowledge of the open source and some private things, that what could be the potential threat, how, which tools to use. You have access to all the tools. So in the agentic world, tools are called so called, like, what leverage agent can take to perform any action, like looking up some data in the SQL is also one tool, looking up
Yeah.
in the BigQuery is also one tool, performing and deploying a system is also one tool. So this way, agent have the access of all these tools. It can change, interact with multiple agents, plan their action, that first I need to go and scan the system. Once the issues are detected, I need to look and mitigate all those issues, take some action, deploy them in a sandbox, check everything, and then give report to some in a human readable format to user, that okay, these are the issues. Earlier, this was also one of the case where it used to tell me something, but I was not able to understand. So that machine to human transition is also what LLM has provided. Now let's go back to the next slide. Yeah. So as I clearly mentioned, like how LM and AI, agentic AI is helping. This is where the Gen AI is meeting cybersecurity, and the intersection is creating, giving the value to the users, also to give them more intuitive answers and to the query, making them understand the network level details, binary level details, which was just known to the system. So it now, the as mentioned, agentic AI, it detects all the monitoring of the system, network, data flow, anomalies on that, all the behaviors it has. It can analyze the process, the multiple models to understand what's the severity of these issues that are which are coming, how to classify them. So earlier it used to be every different model for all these layers. Now AI, agentic AI agents can talk with, interact with each other in the multi-agent environment and get all this context, severity, relationships among each other, and all those. Now, once it has analyzed, it can defend the tools by using the tools, and making some predefined or a new dynamic actions, and then decide whether how important is the risk assessment for this, whether it's the critical issues, what's the organization policies underneath that we want to use, whether we should be showing this data and whether there is certain role based security. Like we know that a read only user should only be able to see certain fields of the data, not the complete data, which are PIP based data and all those critical data, right? So
Yeah.
those details should be hidden, and based on the organizational policies and all, LLM can decide what data to show to what users, and in a very intuitive way.
Yeah.
So this is
Harsh,
how.
sorry to interrupt. Like, can you make the slides in presenter mode?
Sure,
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah.
no worries. Yeah. Okay, so this is where the AI and cybersecurities are meeting. Let's go to the next slide.
I think
Yeah.
one you were like asked very interesting questions. So like now these agents are becoming more and more autonomous. What if they take a wrong decision and blocks actually a business critical process?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the how you're giving the responsibility to them, and what how much critical it should be. Like you see the Waymo and everything in San Francisco going and me taking the actions, everything. So the question is, if it gets, there is a very, I would say, like controversial question, that if it has to make a choice whether to hit at an old man or a young young person, then what the AI should choose. So
Yeah.
eventually, because even if you hit anybody, it will be side issues, right? So
Yeah.
it's like it's a choice of matter, like what AI to choose and what actions it is giving, how much responsibility you are giving to that particular AI. So in terms of cybersecurity, also, like if you're right now, it is being used to detect, monitor, analyze. When you have to take some actions, change some values and everything, you certainly need some human in the loop to make sure that those details are correctly there. Whatever actions it has performed, it's right, and configurations are right with the human consent, that okay, now I feel that whatever AI has done right now is correct, instead of blindly trusting and making it any misconfigured and making the system go bad. And because you can't blame AI and say that okay, you did this, you can go to the human and say that okay, you validated what AI did. And now so there is some sense of responsibilities that needs to be taken in which way, like whether it has to be just completely trusting the AI, or we need some human in the loop on at the start, at the end, to make sure it runs.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's understand more on what kind of role based agents right now we have. Like earlier we have rule based agents, which just triggers, so you can define some set of rules, network configuration to that. And that's also a agent because they know about you, about all your configurations, networks, and some signatures with detection. So this is how the multi-agent system works. One is you can define one rule-based agent. One is like learning agent, which does your behavior analysis, anomaly detections, threat-based pattern recognition. And now it's like autonomous agent, which is self-healing network. So all of them, which when they all come together, they can interact with each other and give you the more comprehensive details on this, right? Some examples, like what all it can do in the action, like it's like, let's say, agent can continuously monitor, analyze distill thousands of threat data into the field and able to tell the environment. It can also act as a sidekick now, like anything that you are running in your system. Let's say you have an agent as a sidekick. It's continuously monitoring, investigating what you're doing in the system. One of the example is, let's say I'm uploading a file to my Google Drive. As I upload, the agent would be tracing the file, whether it's a valid file, or whether it could contain some malware, or some issues. So it can give me the alert at that time and delete itself. So this is how the sidekick agents are working, where anything that action you are doing in the system, it is continuously monitoring that, giving you feedback, and or taking the action to do some, so that you are away from the risk, right? And yeah, and like deceptive agents is like, like, which in the real times tells you if some attacker behavior is coming up, tells you that okay, there is some spoofing happening, or something is going on in the network which seems unusual behavior. So you can assess that and take some action. Now let's go to the next one. Yeah. So as we have studied like what all agents can do, what kind of it can be, and how they work in a ecosystem where it can interact with multiple different type of other AI agents, and give you the more intuitive information or take actions. There's some of the practical use cases that we can see, like autonomous phishing detection. This is also one of the use case where AI agent is being used in the financial institution domain, and GenAI is where it analyzes the email content and sender behavior, contextual signature. And what happened is, like, we detected 98% of the detection rate with phishing attempt. 70%, this is what they got after deploying that. 75 reduction in endless review time, because in financial institute every number is valuable, and anything that you miss there, or there are so many hacking attempts going on to trace those information. So AI agents keep reading all those emails, detects whether it's the issue or not, whether how much endless time it has reduced. One second.
Mm.
Yeah. And automatic issues detection and removal also. Now, another one example is like, self-healing network infrastructure. So let's say a telecom company provider deploy a AI agent for network security. It keeps looking the network logs, the health check of that. If ever the agent finds that there's some issues happening in a particular local network, or the infrastructure is down there, it triggers or the auto healing or auto deployment process, so that the infrastructure can come back, gives you the healthy status. And then so that what happens after that is there were 43% more time where downtime time was less, and the infrastructure became more reliable. So instead of a human waking up 24/7 and monitoring the system whenever it is coming down, starting it, AI agent is looking whenever it feels that the health is not good for system, it deploys those pipelines and scale and auto scale down. So this is one of the example of in which network infrastructure it can use. Uh, Third is vulnerability predictions and patching. So as I mentioned, like, it traces the data. If any issues are coming, any vulnerabilities are there, it can go itself make some configuration change in the system, deploy it in a local simulated environment, and check whether it has fixed those kind of patterns. Once it is done, then it automatically deploys to the main production line. So this is they have seen this is the example, like, it increases the vulnerability with more 89% of correct accuracy detection, reduces the security incidents by 62%, because now if one type of incident is being done in the sandbox, you can have test and trials with the AI agents on to permutation combinations of case use cases and get those information. Let's move to the next one. Yeah, extending this again, like, other use cases where it can be used is threat detection. Any pattern that is coming or sophisticated API is there. It right now I've seen people also using it for API analysis, or any API you are hitting, any data flowing in that, it all request response that is coming in the network, it gets checked whether it is adhering at the specific format or schema that you have. If not, the LLM raises the ticket, it gives you the issues, and clears that. Sometimes the people spoof in the middle, add some middleware attack in the APIs, and gives you those extra extra
Mm.
extra extra input, so that LLM can get hallucinated and gives you the information that it should not be. So that's where the agentic AI is also coming to adherent, that the response I'm getting is based on the particular schema, right? And incident response, as I mentioned, like anything that happens in the orchestration, real time evidence collection, it just triggers those report, get to the specific person, email them, inform them, raise an alert, or talk with another multi agent which can mitigate those issues. And the third thing is the secure development. When you're writing the code, I've seen the new example is like Cursor and all those, where people are using to write this AI agent code. So agent is making sure that the code is written is basically vulnerability less, and it scans all the code that you have written. When you're creating a binary, the binary is also get scanned if any issues are there in that, or it can look up what the existing binaries are there in outside, check those configuration of libraries that you're using in that particular binary with the one that you're using in your local system, and can tell like whether those particular library have some vulnerabilities or CV detected earlier, which could be in your potential, and suggest you what exact library version you can use. So this is how it is helping in securing the development and writing the code also for the coming software developers and
Yeah.
engineers.
I think you talked about like these agents writing code and security of that. Like one of the areas that we also, touch upon is how do you actually orchestrate, or how do you do orchestration among various agents for security?
Orchestration, right from writing the code to deployment.
Maybe like when you're developing these AI agents, among that, like how does orchestration work for that?
Yeah. So when I mean, there's multiple way of deploying an AI agent. If the question is like how do you deploy or how do you make a AI agent, right? So there are multiple ways to do that. You can use some, if you are using some cloud-based infrastructure and all. You can use Gemini, or you can use
I think it's
it.
more about, let's say, you have to, while developing, maybe the question was not that clear. How do you own various agents is like, so these agents, like you talk about having autonomous AI agents. So how does that common orchestration works in security? Like, are there multiple agents? Or how do they make decisions among themselves, and then they report back, and what, like, maybe you can define a little
Right.
architecture on that.
Right. So there are multiple frameworks that you can use in this, like to define the AI agents. And there's like LangChain, LangGraph, or now there's the Google has also recently launched ADK. It's like
Yeah.
Agent Development Kit. So a developer can use ADK or any of these frameworks to write the sequence or parallel execution of agents that they want to define. So hierarchy could be, let's take an example of ADK. You have a hierarchy of where the requests come in the natural language to the agent, and you have a root agent which is defining the orchestration of that. So root agent decide the context and the information of what users are looking forward to information. Let's say the one of the question was, okay, tell me the network configuration in my network, right? So it came to the root agent. Root agent understands the intent and the classic context of user, what user is asking for, looking for network and configuration. And then based on that, there are downstream sub agents which could be running as a service to you, as a different Kubernetes service or in the cloud. And every service have their own access of tools, data, privacy policies, and everything, right? It could be owned by different organization, different sub organization within the ecosystem. So root agent decides and take the control, talks to the, now it knows that it has to go and figure out the network details and the configuration file. So it interacts with the network agent, it interacts with the configuration agent, that hey, provide me details for all this input that user has given. Once the information is given, each individual layer agents can perform their own operations. They're looking up for the databases, analyzing the files, previous cases, and gives you back those information. Then you could have one summarizer agent, which basically take all these input from different multiple agents, comprehends them and comprehend them in a package them in a human readable format, and gives the value you back to the user. So this is how in a multi-agent systems the agents are doing the job, and then you have summarizer or thinker at the end, which is reiterating whether the response has been given by these agents is it correct or not. So it can be LLM as a judge also, which is making sure that the data that user asked and what LLM has provided is correct. And if you need to make another iteration to go and collect more data, you can do that, and then later summarize it in a human readable format so that it's more intuitive to the user.
Yeah. Also, I think there are a few questions as I think more in terms of security. So one of the attendees asking, could someone take a .dmk of your MacBook volume and then deploy agent to make undetected, unauthorized changes, for example, downloads? If so, what type of agents could I utilize as defense security safeguards? To be quite security focused question.
Yeah, could be, yes, yes. I mean, somebody can take that, modify that. You see the open source OS also, right? So there's a open source OS also. Somebody can take that, modify their own at the OS level, and in the universities level, people I've seen a lot of people doing the projects where they are actually building their own OS because they take a image version of Linux OS, make a lot of modification on top of it, and then they have their personalized OS that they're running in the system, right? So similar way, I mean, they can reverse engineering, they can add more things, and those optimization on so on. Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the viewers is asking, can you recommend leading AI-driven platforms or agents used for autonomous vulnerability assessment and penetration testing in the industry?
Yeah. Sorry, can you please repeat?
Can you recommend any platforms or agents that has been, very famous for automated vulnerability assessment and penetration testing?
Yeah, I mean, there's one Zero Trust and those kind of products which does this pen tool and all, where you can give those a URL. It also generates the subdomains for you. Check all those in the system, in the sandbox, gives you back the response. So there are multiple. I would say like basically Chat GPT, that that would be the most latest one that you can get. My knowledge is to the one that I have used only. Yeah.
Got it. Do you use security-related ontology plus knowledge graphs for these agents?
Security based ontology, yes, yes. So uh like I mean, because the system is more trained on the open source and all, every organization have their own private data also where it is not trained on. So you need that's what the term came, agentic RAG or something, where you have your own RAG based systems which are trained on your private proprietary data, and the agents are using that. When you use open foundation models, the RAG pipeline, it gives you leverage to the private data, and then you reply back to that. What was the second element of the question that you asked?
Um, I think ontology and knowledge graphs.
Yes. So
I'm
knowledge graph
utilizing
setting.
both.
Yes, knowledge graph setting list. There are some tools that you can use in your knowledge graph, like whether it is you're using Neo4j, memgraph, and all those. So the idea is like whenever the agent is interacting, it tries to fetch the context, and with each request coming from the user to get those details, it tries to upgrade and build more and more edges of the knowledge graph. Uh, could be example of using Neo4j, where your agent is the root agent, and as the requests are coming, the context keep on increasing. Now the user, one of the example, live practical example I would give is like you as a user, when you go to the Google, and let's say there's a food agent, and when you ask a food agent that, hey, I want to order a pizza, so show me nearby place. Now that time you were in San Francisco, it has saved in the context that you are in San Francisco, you are ordering a pizza. You order a pizza, you give the rating, a bad rating to that, and now next time when you are ordering the pizza, the agent will tell you, hey, last time you ordered this, again you are asking that, okay, I want to order pizza after 2 days, but you gave a very bad rating to this particular restaurant. So should I exclude that from your list? And you say yes. As soon as you get the context memory gets updated in the knowledge graph. Now the user know about you that you stays in San Francisco city, your location is San Francisco, and you like pizza, but you don't like these particular set of restaurants. So and next time the agent is making a call to get you all those information, it will take those context and knowledge graph into picture, all this information it has stored, and give you only the relevant things that you're looking. The next time that restaurant won't be recommended. Yeah. So this is how the AI can, agents and knowledge graph, it can leverage knowledge graph, build your store your information long as a long term memory, or in a particular session in memory, and give you more intuitive replies.
Got it. Makes sense. I think we can continue, Harsh.
Yeah, sure. So let's say one more very interesting use case of finance of automatic incident report response. This is one of the case study I was looking, and I saw where a financial service provider, a major bank, implemented an agentic AI system to handle security incident across global infrastructure. Like anything that happens, the agent should go detect the monitoring of that, detect the system issues that are coming with the threshold. It should use the existing rule based configuration that you have. Reading those, it is an agent that acting as a sidecar, looking at all your system analysis and everything, and then it gives you alert and with the infrastructure. And also, so it has been looking for almost like 25,000 plus endpoints. Anything that the financial service has deployed in the ecosystem, it's looking for all those endpoints, detecting the if the attack came at a runtime, immediate isolation of affected systems. Whenever the issues comes, it it either delete those node and or restart those node, or some take some. It also have some predefined configurations which it can use, that if these kind of issues come, then you apply to X to Y types of configuration to mitigate this. So again, and also deployment and continuously countermeasure to block those commands or block those malicious activities that you're saying. Automatic prevention of forensic evidence, generation of incident reports in a compliant way to the user. So all these things that they perform for over a year, and there was like 94 reduction in their mean time response of hours. 65% percentage of analyst time was saved as per their report, and there was like 3.2 million annual saving. So when we say AI right now is taking too much time and cost, with compute cost and everything, which is true, but this is one of the case where it is giving you the real time example, like how much reduction has been done in terms of analyst time, in terms of annual saving. So that's where all this importance and of AI is coming into picture, where initially it may not be giving you that particular results like the saving, but over the time, as the agent or AI gets more and more mature, analyzing and personalizing to your ecosystem, it will keep on adding more silent values, which will create a domino effects or something to give you more valuable insights, cost saving, and everything. Yeah. Now let's move to next slides. Yes. So as we know that anything that comes, it has some ethical consideration to some limitations and everything. So do with the LM's agentic and word and
And
everything.
that's also very important.
Right.
Yeah.
And then multiple open questions. Oh, do we need human? Or do every company should build their own company should have their own models, weights and everything, or every country should own their own model, like China has one DeepSeek and all, or whether there should be a cross pollination or of using those weights in the foundation model itself, and
Yeah.
whether so all these are open question, whether because we are concerned about using some other country's model, and like what will happen to the privacy data and everything coming. So these are some of the ethical concerns which are there, and some of the changes which AI also brings, like hallucination is one of the thing. How you safeguard at each layer what data is being input, and how to safeguard those at the network layer, at the data layer, at the role based layer, right? So yeah, technical challenges certainly, like explanation of decision in a very regulated environment. How the agent perform, how do you regulate those things as the vulnerability keep on increasing, different type of new attacks are coming. How the L- LMs get pick up all these new and new data points, which could be private also. Let's say a financial institute or a medical institute has some certain kind of drug information which are not publicly available, how you can give the your individual model those details so that they are pre-known that this could be the potential threat also when they come up, right? So also the hallucination, how any we can stop any false positive, false negative, that should not be there. It should make it more precision based rather than just generation based right now. And ethical concerns, certainly, if the LM has been trained on the public data, it could be biased towards certain races, or it could be biased towards certain people and certain methodology. So those things should not happen in ethical concern. Privacy is certainly one thing. If you're sharing the PIP information, which are critical sensitive to the organization, should not be shared. How somebody, so that nobody can misuse it and in a bad way, those things. And one more thing is like human AI balance. As you asked a very good question, like whether we need human or whether we should leave everything to the AI, right? So that balance needs to be there. Certainly, how we have seen, like, people say there's a change in job and everything, it's there, like, because AI is doing some 30-40% of the work, but it is very at the initial level right now, where it is doing the setting the base for you, and then it's like a co-pilot where you have it has done the basic things, and now it is asking you to take over from there. So just like we see in some of the self-driving cars also, where it's it's where the traffic is less and all it, and as soon as the things get messy and complex, it asks you to take over and be your own pilot. So those things, those balance is needed, and then in the ecosystem side by side, that leverage will happen and will give you more and more valuable.
Yeah.
So yeah, next, let's move to the
I think
next.
one of the very interesting thing that you touched upon, like model weights and model policy. Can we move to the last slide? So how we actually worked with a lot of US customers in banking, and they're very skeptical about using Chinese models because we don't know what is there, what is into it, is it
Mm.
bias, and there has been a lot of reported instances where it has seen biases regarding
Yeah.
governments, institutions. What are your thoughts upon, like, how do you mitigate those biases? Are people not using those models, or how to actually mitigate the biases maybe?
Yeah, I mean, the way to there are two type of concession, I will say. Like when Chinese models got released, it was also in there that you can only ask math or reasoning based question. If you ask any political question, it doesn't give the answer, or it because it is biased, it blocks that, or it doesn't give you all the information that you're looking forward. So the two ways is, like, one is like picking the foundation model itself in a right way, which is suited for your specific need. Right now it's basically becoming industry based, or MCP is coming into picture, where they can you can build your own model with your own data, and then make it as a service, or leverage it as the API, those things. So the way is, first you pick what is the right model, foundation model, based on the type of tools, techniques that you're trying to do, whether you're working on the math or reasoning, whether you're working on the political one, or you're looking for some grok kind of model, which says it's pure, without any hiddens or anything, guard rates, right? So those things, every foundation model will have. Pick the one suited for your needs. But after picking, also you need to have your safeguard at each place, guardrails, rule based thresholds at the every layer where whatever LM is performing. Let's say, take an example of, let's say I take the grok to ask some questions, but I know in my ethical work organization I don't like considering any reply being given, which should be, I want everything should be balanced 50-50 to the gender or anything it's talking. But if any question is not there, then either I block it or I don't show those information to the user, right? So this is how you have to, whatever LM is giving, there has to be one extra layer which reads that, make sure that it is as per the ethics of the organization, or in the capacity they're working with, and then give you those. And if not, then that is considered as a hallucination, or a bad response, where you need the human feedback in the loop. take those as a reward points, so that LLM can get mature, and next time you ask, it knows that now this is not something that you are looking forward.
Makes sense. Thanks, Harsh. We can move forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the much awaited question, I mean, that we are discussing from the start also, do we really need now human in the loop or the
And the
AI?
same question was there like multiple times in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because it's need of the hour that we are looking forward as
Hmm.
AI agents are coming. We keep saying that layoffs are happening everywhere, and there's a change in the shift of what how you used to build the system, which were earlier, which was more rule based, sophisticated system, and now it's like more complex, which can act itself and do the basic things
Yeah.
which we are doing. So yeah, that's where the uh AI comes. Right now, it's not that one that you certainly don't need human itself. It's it's the right amount of autonomy that you have to give at industry level to each AI. So in terms of content creation, I don't mind that even if some characters are LM is generating is wrong, or misspelled. I don't mind that LM is generating is in the content creation. It should not matter. So I give the full authority to AI agent on that. Less human needed, but more authority to AI. Now coming to the other industry, which could be the medical industry, or which could be cybersecurity, where precision matters more than generation, right? And in these kind of medical industry and all, any small error can lead to a huge issues, complex issues. So that way, I would need the AI to assist me, but still the need of the human is not going. We certainly need human to validate those responses, work alongside with that, and whenever the transition and the shift happens, there's also opportunity to learn new things, and a new amalgam of like the birth of the jobs are being being there. So the new skill set will be certain there. We need to upgrade because it's a new thing coming. Everybody needs to upgrade themselves, and but there's certainly a new fields which are coming up and which are giving you more better opportunities. So we need a bright balance between, as I mentioned, like automation, security, and human, so that we can take any critical issues, and also there's a balance between is maintained. Now this is where this future of cybersecurity professionals who are looking in the audience also, like you, this is the new things that are coming up. You first thing is everybody needs to be AI literate. Like we, as the LLMs are upgrading themselves based on the new data and all, foundation models are being upgraded. We as a human also needs to upgrade ourselves. Every employee, every person who is using that, you need to understand what is the implication of it, what where it is wrong, where how to exactly use it, where it can hallucinate. Like I cannot blindly go to chat gpt, and if I get some medical issue, help it fix it, right? So as a user, we need to be AI literate to understand which domains it could give better answer, which domains it could not give better answer, right? So and there's a always a some percentage of hallucination, or where it can go wrong. So what to do in those cases? So that is where we need to upgrade ourselves. Prompt engineering, certainly how to ask question right way, understand, and get information from there. Agent supervision, there is this new platform which there's new you can say subfield which is coming, where as the agents are working, we need the supervision of that, monitoring evolution, evaluating them, like comparing them. So this is all new things, new domain which is coming, where you want to see how the orchestration of agent works, how the supervision of them work, and also ethical side of that. More on these. This is what we feel like the new things which will be coming. Certainly, as I mentioned, prompt engineering, agent orchestration, AI ethics side, also model evolution, AI security. These are new domains which are enriching themselves, because as the data is increasing, generative AI is increasing. So you need more focus on these areas. Emerging trends right now. Yeah, last year, 2 years was the era of foundation models, where we saw a lot of foundation models keep on increasing, and now they're just upgrading themselves. But we got those. We are working in a multi-agent collaborative systems right now to give the security. Next phase we feel right now is that explanation AI, where we are enriching multi-agents, are talking with each other, taking some actionable items. Future will be like, certainly the generative AI systems for testing and improvement, making sure every industry has like the dot-com bubble came, everything went online, right? All these local businesses, they wanted to have their own websites
Yeah.
and everything. So same, like we feel that every industry or every company that is going through, they would probably there will be a huge surge in the demand of building a kind of a co-pilot for them. So which can assist them. AI can be in their like vein of product line of each company, where it is assisting you, leveraging you, and giving you more insights, right? Or helping you to be more efficient in that. Yeah. And I've we feel 2024 some maybe the, what they say is like AGI, artificial general intelligence, or cognitive more kind of capabilities. So this is where we see. So this is certainly a opportunity to learn all these new things in these areas and grow themselves and work on those lines, right? So yeah. Okay,
And
next
the
I think.
interesting part now, Moj.
Yeah, next I have is like I was working on some personal project. I would love to share this. This is one of the demos. So the problem statement is, let's say as a network admin, I want to do some configuration in my network where I want some users to block Facebook and not using them, or I want that Facebook should not work at my organization at all. I want to set those rules. So how do I set those rules? I need to remember those command. I also need to see how different companies are doing that, right? I also need to see how my other peers companies have configured to that network so that the Facebook is blocked, what command they use. And when I have used this command to make that network configuration, I need some pan test also, that okay, generate some test case for me, generate some URLs, and check in different devices whether I'm able to access those or not, and give me a report. So this was the one of the agent use case. I name it as Rakshak AI so that it is protecting us. Let's get started,
Very
and I can,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, I can demo it. So let me start that. All right. Okay. So yeah, it's asking me that okay, enter any network configuration or security rule code I have to do. So let's say I take example and I say that okay, I want to block Facebook app calls in my internet network, and I submit the request. So what it does now is like AI agent will run. So it's a network security agent. So let's go through the report it has generated for us. So it says that user input. It does the network analysis. That user input is that user want to block all Facebook call in the internet network. It says that it's the rule, and it is suggesting you that that the rule you are giving is too broad right now. Like probably you need it for a specific input or protocols, or you could block it for some certain particular apps, or for a messenger maybe, or for a workplace, right? Or it's very broad right now. So it has given some suggestion that maybe if you want to block for some traffic rules, you can use this table and update your IP tables, give the input, and using the port 80, and these can be dropped. So it is also suggesting me that you can block for a specific domains also, like this, like anything that start with facebook.com, and you want to drop that and update your IP tables. Now it can also say me that you can block for a specific IP address also. So these are the suggestion it gave me, that instead of blocking for everybody, you can do and choose for these things. It also does the peer analysis for me and told me that the companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, which are top companies, this is how they block, and what the rule they have. So they say that Google also doesn't block for everybody. It block for specific ports and for protocols. Similarly for Microsoft, it's suggesting me, and Amazon, that it blocks for them, and there's additional rules for each individual specific apps also. Now it has given that now to block it for a specific workplace traffic, you can use this. To block it for messenger traffic, you can use this command. So it gave me all this command, and now it is giving me that I think flowchart is not coming, but it gave me some of the optimization, like monitor Facebook app daily, and after that it applied that. So let me do one thing. I think it has not given one change. So let's say I want to block Google itself. Okay, let it run again. Yeah. So I don't know, thing, that's where hallucination comes. So the first time
Yeah.
it did not generate the network graph for me. So as you see here, now it has generated. Similarly, if I'm saying to just block the Google, it is giving me commands, it is comparing the analysis, and it is saying me you can block Google Drive or you can block Google Docs, right? After that, it generates the flow chart for me that the user gave the input. It does the security analysis for each port, it what optimization it gave, and now you will implement it. After that, it implemented this particular rule that it finally gave that okay, you can maybe do for Google Drive and Google Docs, and it applies those rules to a sandbox. Once the sandbox is applied, it gives it generates 20 set of URLs with the google.com that the users can access in the external world. Like you can users usually access drive.google.com, docs.com, calendar. So anything that starts with all these, it generated a set of 20 URLs for me, and now it it went and deployed that in the sandbox. And now after that it is deployed, it traces back all these URL and checks back and gives me a report that okay, you know what, these URLs are blocked now, so their status is blocked. So and now optimizing the rule for, so it also did the pen test on top of after deploying the tool and gave me the report that it is blocked. It's giving you final suggestion that if you want to like optimize further, you can also specify, it's better to specify a port, a specific IP, or a specific subnet when you are trying to block something. You should not say that block Google for everybody or block Facebook for everybody, right? So this is how, this was an example of network security agent, which is going, analyzing your network, doing the peer comparison, also giving you more insight, generating a flow of execution, and then deploying and doing giving you the final report. Let's go back to the final slides and
I think this is the I think people are thinking like this is very cool. Nice work, Harsh. Maybe you can. Do you want to share the GitHub repo if it's open source or something?
that would be difficult, but yeah, I mean, I think I can share the slides, and
Yeah.
the content is very specific, so you can, somebody can leverage those information to build.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
This is
certainly I can send some of the helper links that
yeah.
would be able to help you build that. Yeah,
Yeah.
happy to
I
take
think
any
yes.
open,
Sorry. Yeah.
happy to take any open questions if any.
Yeah, there are like let's just quickly touch upon that. I think Shubham was asking, how do you handle evolving day zero vulnerabilities in the network, right? Because which I haven't seen before.
Right. So that's where the agentic AI is coming into picture. It has the leverage of your private data, right, and the external what data also, and then this knowledge graph and everything that you're building, somehow it will find the links that there are. One is like just using this information. Second is it keeps on trying and brute force way to break the system also. So the one way is your system is leveraging to defend the system, but there you can build an attacker also or a generator also, which is using your existing information and trying to brute force way attack. So you have two models, one is attacker and defender, and this way you will find one of the permutation and combination of that, where whichever is not seen in the real world, you would be able to get it from that simulation model. So that simulation will find something new, update itself. So this way your models will be protected, organization will be protected from the unforeseen issues.
Got it. Makes sense. I'm just scrolling through a few questions. Okay. How does the platform provide case management like ServiceNow? So are there any platforms which are, let's say there is a key generated for like for example, security thread that has been generated and a key is generated. And because most security alerts are auto-generated as a case and a manager assigned. So
Mm.
how is that changing? For example, let's say automatically a scheme assigned, manager assigned, or like how the resolution cycle works now.
Yeah. So there's a, it's a workflow management problem basically. Like
Okay.
as soon as as a case get assigned, you know, the assigned person does a lot of analysis on that, and then the case gets closed manually and everything. This is what the current process is. In the agentic world, I would say it's for the agent. If ever an agent detects any anomaly, it opens up a case itself to ServiceNow, because ServiceNow has provided a that particular APIs or a tool to agent, which agent uses ServiceNow as a tool, as the API tool. It makes that, opens that case, change the states, and then it auto assigns to the required to the related person based on this. It knows that in this geography these are assigned person for these kind of alerts. It will auto assign themselves. wait for their reply, or it can auto assign. If there's some multi-agent work, it can auto assign to the network agent. So let's say
Mm.
root agent found this problem, it can assign to network agent that, hey, it's a configuration kind of a issue, you take care of that. So the ticket got assigned, the network agent does the analysis and replies back to the same ticket. So the agent is updating the ticket that, okay, this is what I found. And then agent found that okay, there's a configuration agent. It also checks and send backs in the ticket itself that, do you want me to update this configuration? So instead of human doing all these things, different the kind of multi agents are interacting the same ticket of hierarchy of service now and closing it, updating it itself. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. I think first, thanks so much for taking time out on this. Actually, I just loved the demo, right? And I seriously feel like you must have taken a lot of time out, and it's also a side project. Like it's fabulous. I hope people who I actually attended the whole, the whole webinar that also, like this, and probably, will share a few resources as you mentioned, Harsh, on this. Any closing thoughts first that you want to line out?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that we are in an era where it is kind of a leverage for all these upcoming students or engineers, that whatever was there 10 years back is not now. So
Yeah,
everybody's on the same ground. The more effort you put to learn all these new things, it will really help for the next upcoming 10 past 5 years or 10 years, because everybody has to make themselves AI literate. The people who are using it, the people who are building it, the people who so from end consumer is starting from builder to end consumer, everybody needs to upgrade themselves so that AI can really help themselves. Otherwise, yeah, it will become that thing that we are lagging behind, or those things. So it's an
yeah,
opportunity. Use it, and yeah.
yeah. Thanks, Harsh. Thanks again. We'll share the recording after this, and all this, all the resources which might be needed. And yeah, guys, we'll be back after 1 or 2 weeks with another set of webinars. Thanks a lot for attending. Thanks, Harsh, again. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye.